In this video, I'll give you a breakdown on my SaaS education agency HumanMade. Now, previously, I made a similar video of me talking about the business model, the mental model of the structure, the concept of the agency, and the characteristics, mindset, shift, identification that you need to be able to, run a profitable agency and make money from it. Now I'm making this separate video on purpose to actually share the thick of it, to actually break down the agency model in itself. Now, this is just the proof that I want to show. The invoice that I received from couple days back in April this month. I made 3.7 Singapore dollars, which is equivalent to around 3,000 USD. I don't know, could be low, could be lower, could be higher. Currencies are going up and down, because of the economics right now. But the more important thing is the breakdown. It's what will I be talking about in this video. Now I'll give you, just I said, a thorough breakdown on the agency model, the problems that we solve, the solution/offer that I built, and the benefits for the clients. Now, unlike the previous video that I mentioned, I want this video to just be talking about business. I want this video to just be talking about the technicality, how I run the processes, our USP, our bottlenecks, even the problems that we solve, basically how I came up with this idea and just a thorough breakdown on it. So now let's actually move to the agency breakdown, right? HumanMade. Essentially, we are an educational content agency helping SaaS companies to kill their customer churn and support tickets, essentially saving them revenue, right? We offer a done with you service. We don't do marketing, we do retention. Our main core purpose, right? Our duty is to ensure that your users of your SaaS product stick to your product as long as possible by providing them great customer experience. Now, I just want you to take note on the bold text here, because these are just the main key points that I want you to pay attention to. Is number one, essentially what we do, right, is to kill customer churn and support tickets by educational content. That is something that I will talk through further, and this is something important that I mentioned previously in even some of my videos, that we're not a marketing agency, right? We focus on retention, which is another huge problem that people don't think about. And our main job, is to provide great customer experience. And so HumanMade is the agency product, but I actually have two products, or am about to create two products. Number one is the agency HumanMade, and number two here is actually an upcoming digital product, a real masterclass, because we've probably all seen it before about these gurus, who talks about, oh, hey, I sell online course, I sell a $4.99, I sell a $9.99 online course, but they all end up being shit. Hey, I've been there before, right? I've burned some of my money while actually, investing some of my money into courses. I've been sold the dream by some of the people that I've seen on YouTube, and I bought their courses. I invested my hard-earned money in their courses, and I regretted it, which is why I actually have that bracket on purpose, a real masterclass. Because the thing on how I actually came up with this idea, and the reason why earlier just now I said this is an upcoming project and upcoming products, because I literally just had this idea a couple days ago. The whole purpose is that I want to share these underground materials that I'm talking about, because let's be real, this whole entire thing, what my YouTube video is going to be about, this YouTube video that I'm giving, right, the solutions of my agency are not something that people really talk about. I've never really seen it before. So this is what I mean by these are underground materials that not many people think about, right? This solution that I'm giving, my offer is so good because we've just never seen it before. So I want my ICP, my ideal customer profile, to have access to all of these game-changing sauce. It's the same offer, same strategy, but just productized, right? This digital product, this masterclass named Humane, is, I wouldn't even say similar, it's the same as my agency breakdown, but the only difference is that it's just gonna be productized. Because I understand that, some people are gonna be hesitant to pull the trigger and to actually invest in HumanMade, because our agency, it's a service, it's a full-on done with you service that will take anywhere from 3 to 6 months. And it's also something that, from our end, we only want to work with people who are serious. We only want to work with people who are committed. And with that being said, this is why I came up with this product. This masterclass, Human Made, is a DIY, do-it-yourself, low-ticket product compared to our service. Because here's the thing, I genuinely want to help people. I want to help SaaS companies. And this is perfect for startups. It's just like I said, for startups or for any SaaS companies or any apps, any AI businesses, this is perfect for you, because it's just like I say, I understand that some people will not be willing to straight away pull the trigger for our service. Then this course might be for you. And this will be a perfect entry level product for you to get your feet wet. And so now we talk about the agency breakdown or the product breakdown. Let's actually go through the problem breakdown, which is, I guess, a way more important thing is, why is this even needed, right? This is a quote from Elon Musk. You get paid in proportion to the difficulty of the problem that you solve. If you solve a big problem, you get paid more. If you solve a small problem, well, you get paid less. And so, especially when it comes to subscription-based business, these tend to be the market or the industry that faces churn oftenly. Meaning, well, basically means that you're losing customers. Now, this can be a huge problem, because imagine if you're spending so much money on customer acquisition costs only for it to leak out into the drain. So that basically means that you have a leaky bucket, right? And this is actually something that it's an underlooked problem. Not many founders don't actually think about this, because let's be real, most founders would rather prioritize on acquisition rather than stopping churn, which is the leaky bucket. This is a gap in the market that I notice. Because let's be real, even business owners, we all tend to focus on acquisition rather than churn. Now, but here's the thing. When you put marketing first, your marketing game has to be so elite, to a point where in order for you to just flow the leaky bucket, it's gonna put a lot of pressure on you and your team. This is the problem. And of course, I'm not telling you to completely neglect marketing. Well, that is the main core fundamentals of how we get clients. But the thing is, I don't want you to make it your only priority, to a point where, let's say that's the only thing you focus on. But what's the point if you bring in people into your business if they're just gonna leave anyway, right? This is why I use the analogy of having a leaky bucket, right? And if you watch any of my recent videos, or well, if you're new, I always use this analogy of, what is the point of filling water in a leaky bucket when that water is just gonna leak out? Now, this brings me to the solution. Let's actually break it down here real quick. People leave usually comes down to they don't really understand the product, poor onboarding process, and slow and responsive customer support. This all reflects to the customer experience. And the solution to it, well, is to basically reverse engineer all the problems. We do this by customer acquisition. This sounds simple, but this is huge. Now, what do I mean by customer education is that we provide micro-learning contents so that users can easily absorb information from the educational videos, such as step-by-step videos, troubleshooting videos, feature adoption videos, etc., walkthrough videos. And this is actually the best solution, and I'll tell you why. Before I work with clients, they tend to tell me that, hey, we have articles, or why not use chatbots? Isn't that a better solution? I will tell you why our solution is best, and this is actually for your own sake, so I have to tell you this. Users crave the need for efficiency and speed, which both, I really want you to think about this, both articles and chat systems kind of contradict, because they're kind of slow, right? I use this analogy. Okay, let's talk about articles firstly, right? Because I see this a lot. A lot of software companies or subscription-based companies, they think that articles solve the problem effectively. But think about this. Imagine if you have a Lego set and the instruction manuals are all text-based, right? No pictures, no step-by-step on where to put the pieces together. They're all words. Then compared to the instruction manuals, they actually provide you the visual illustration, the visual demonstration, the visual step-by-step. Which one is more effective? The latter. We all know the answer deep down. And then the second thing, when it comes to chatbots, This, it's slow. And yes, I say I am actually bringing up my experience, my explanation from a user's perspective, from myself and from others users. When we want help, when we want education, when we want to solve problems in the software, we want it to be quick. But chatbots, it's kind of slow. We have to get into the loophole. We have to ask questions, pick up our problems on how to solve the problem. We gotta wait and all that. It's a whole nother loophole, and we don't want to get into the process, which is why with micro learning content, you get the solution you're looking for instantly, just like this. And that brings me to the benefits for our clients. What is the benefit of our agency, our SaaS education agency? Is, well, aside from, just I said, reducing churn and reducing the volume of support tickets, we are getting rid of a huge headache that you would have in the future, and ultimately this saves you thousands of dollars in the long run. Because here's the thing, you don't really have to spend more money on ads or marketing or even increase your price. Just by reducing your churn, right, essentially improving your customer experience, you can see a massive improve in your annual recurring revenue. This is the benefit. This is the strength of it. All right. And to also even add on for your sake is, I want you to understand that this is actually a win-win situation, right? Because the way how I see it, the worst case scenario, if we don't, let's say, manage to promise our results, which is, well, just I said, is to, well, kill your customer churn and reduce your volume of support tickets, right? If let's say the worst case scenario working with us, you don't manage to do that, you will still end up with a strong education base that all users or new will still need. So come to think of it, this is still something that your users need, which is education, right? Because we all need guidance to use your product. And this is in order to have a smooth customer experience. Users will always come back to the educational content. This is the power of our system. This is the power of our educational content system. It's just I say, no one is talking about this. This is why I have so much faith in our product and why I genuinely do believe that this is not only is this the best in the line, but no one is providing this. A lifetime value that we provide. In Human Made, we have such an irresistible offer. We let our product speak for itself. So which is why all of this breakdown that I'm giving, this is just all my agency doing all the work. My agency and my digital product, the things that we provide. And this is our main mission, is to help you, SaaS companies. So with that being said, if you run a subscription-based company, specifically SaaS specific, I want to help you. Right, which is why I'm making this video, which is why I even created this product, because we solve a very huge problem that not many people think about. And also something worth that I really want to mention is that when you apply this system, understand that you will have such a massive competitive advantage, because this is, I know I sound like a broken record, but I really want to emphasize on this. Not many people actually prioritize this. Not many people actually think about reducing their churn rates or reducing their volume of support tickets. So you would actually have an advantage, competitive advantage over your competitors. This is the strength of our product. So if you need any help, or if you find any part of this video very useful, talk to us. Let's stop the bleeding, stop the leaky bucket once and for all.